weren't gonna fucking put up with that shit.
No. But see, so and they turned and put all those, and they turned against me.
Yeah.
I actually got pulled out of that unit. I was put on with another team, and it was great. I had a bunch of good people, but I couldn't deal with the politics.
Yeah.
You got a lot of good cops, you got a lot of bad cops.
They're doing good stuff and bad stuff.
So, and the bad thing is, you good cops,
Well, the
they're
good
scared.
cops that get turned into the
the good
pawns
cops
of the freaking.
The good cops are scared because if they say anything, now they're blackballed, they're out.
Well, you got what is it? Three kind of corrections officers. By the, like straight up by the book.
That's me.
Okay. You got your such good ones that they float towards the inmates and they end up doing shit for them.
Yeah.
Which makes them a fucking criminal.
Yes.
Okay, so they violated their fucking oath.
Yes.
And then you got the straight up fucking piece of shit that wants to violate every fucking right that every single individual has. That's inalienable.
Yeah.
Okay? And those are the three kinds that you have. That's it. And the one that's the good one that goes by the regs, they're out. They're done. They don't stay. They can't stay. They're not welcome.
I know.
Okay?
That's me. That's why I left.
They're not welcome. See what I mean? And you're the one that we want. You're the one we need. Then you got the good one, the soft one, the friendly one that makes them all their buddies and friends because they got to live in that crap. And when it comes down to it, the inmates run the asylum. Okay? Really, when it comes down to it. And the same scenario goes for America. I'm sorry, the government doesn't run shit. They make the decisions, okay? We run this asylum. We run this shit. And they have failed to understand this. And because of that, we're in the predicament we're in right now.
One of the predicament right now is because they just want absolute power.
Yeah, they want to take everything we have away from us in every kind of way. They don't want us to sit here talking to each other in public. They don't want us to have gatherings. They don't want to have a bunch of people together communicating about anything.
Well, that's one of the things I like about Louisiana. We basically say, fuck you.
We're going to do it anyway.
We're going to do what the hell we want.
The first bar I came to that was open, not in Texas, here, was here. Marlies, man. I went in there, it was freaking 100 people in there, hanging out, shoulder to shoulder, having a good time, dude. It was the first time I had been in public and seen that kind of, like, actual freedom.
It's been like that here in Louisiana.
Yeah.
I mean, not New Orleans, because they're a bunch of dill holes, but outside of New Orleans, our bars, a lot of us, we've stayed open.
Yeah.
In Houma, the Terrebonne Parish Sheriff straight up told him, I'm not enforcing the mask mandate. I'm not going to do it. Now, if you got somebody that comes into your store and you say they need a mask, they don't want to put a mask, yes, we'll come and get them for trespassing. But we are not enforcing.
Can't go get them for trespassing.
If they're told to leave,
for a legitimate reason,
it's private property. If you were told to leave,
legitimacy is key.
No, that's the same as somebody walking into your house and you tell them to leave.
That's the same as saying you're black, you need to drink from a different water fountain than I do.
I agree, but
discrimination.
But by the letter of the law, which they have to follow on that one. Yeah, that
Mandates
actually is.
are not a law.
No. That's not a man. And actually, Louisiana, it is stated by law that in a state of emergency, the governor, if he makes mandates.
A legitimate state of emergency.
If they are, it doesn't say legitimate. It just says a state of emergency. In a state of emergency, anything that if he makes the reg, it is law.
Hey, if somebody wants to wear a mask,
that's all in.
Let them do it.
I don't wear a mask. I'm not about that.
I'm not part of that cult.
Neither am I.
That's not my cult. I'm not part of that cult, man.
But it's the same as somebody going in your house. You're in somebody's private business, private. I know, but even still,
They said that about Jim Crow, man. You're kind of quoting Jim Crow right now.
No, I'm going by the letter of the law.
No, you know
by the letter of the law. If I didn't want you in my house and I told you to leave for whatever reason,
you have to look at history.
But it doesn't matter.
You have to. It does matter.
But hold up.
Listen,
by
it does
matter.
matter.
By the letter of the law, I'm explaining to you by the letter of the law. On the research side of it, all right? My personal opinion.
Well, it's all debunked. There was no research on masks.
No, that's bullshit.
Zero. There was none.
But by the way the law is written, the letter of the law, if they want you out, they can't take you out because you refuse to wear a mask. They say is, I've told them to leave, now they are trespassing. So they arrest you on trespassing charges. And that's it. Now, in your case though, the way the order was put in place, it stipulated that the arrest did not take place off of a mask mandate.
Yeah.
That's the difference. See, yours stated that.
If you watch the video, they never really gave me a chance at that point to actually leave.
I know you were actually trying to leave.
They just backed me up and backed me up and backed me up until I said, you ain't backing me up anymore, don't walk into my hand. And then what'd he do? He walked into my hand. And now
No, he didn't walk in your hand, he slapped your hand down.
Yeah, no, he walked into my hand.
And then he slapped it down?
And then he barely touched, walked into I didn't push him or anything. And he walked into me, telling him 6 feet, back up. So I'm quoting the very mandates that they're supposed to be going by, but they're not respecting the mandates while maintaining the order for me.
I know, you were singled out.
Well, I mean, not just singled out, but the hypocrisy of the scenario. Okay? You cannot justify an arrest if you are violating the very mandate that you are explaining to somebody, or the rule that you're explaining to somebody. It's mask and 6 foot is what it was. Okay? So it's not just masks and only mask, it's mask and 6 feet distancing. Nobody was doing that. Nobody in the entire mall was. I got video footage of people arms on each other and everything. So the hypocrisy of it all outweighs the justifiable arrest that they state was justifiable, along with physical assault. They state that I physically assaulted the man.
You didn't assault.
So the question is, what happened? Okay? And the answer is this. They falsely arrested me. They falsely kidnapped me.
Yes.
They falsely imprisoned me. And then they trumped up fake charges on top of it when it comes down to it.
Yep.
So if we're going to go ahead and we're going to sit here and we're going to say COVID is dangerous. Okay, yeah, COVID's dangerous. I'm not going to argue with that. It's a real thing. I'm not a denier. I don't deny it. I don't deny that there's a virus out there. I don't know where it came from, why. I don't even care.
It's only got a 98% survival rate.
You're only going to survive, yeah.
Oh, it's higher than that now?
Higher than that, yeah, 99.
It's 99.6.
Yeah,
99.6 now. Oh, wow. So it's gone up since my last
That's
research
even better
day.
than the flu, than the common flu.
The flu. Yeah, that's right. The flu has a 98% survival rate. COVID's got the 98.6, 99.7. Yeah.
So you know, when I'm standing there looking at these individuals and they're screaming about this virus, but they so desperately want to put their hands on me and put me in a place where I'm probably going to catch it in a jail, which is your most likely place to get it. And even when I was in there, I fought, and I still protested all the way through, which earned me an attack. And I was attacked. I was physically attacked by a man for not wearing a mask after I'd been physically attacked in a mall. So 2 times in one night, I was attacked for not wearing a mask. You know, I mean, it's the equivalent of rules for thee,
But not for me.
but not for me, because you're the peasant. We're the peasants, and Marie Antoinette is saying, let them eat cake. We all know what happened to Marie Antoinette. And that's the end result. If that's what they want, that's what they're going to end up
Well,
getting.
that's what I was saying earlier.
You know?
They're using, like your instance. Okay, if you stand up against this is what's going to happen to you. So they're trying to pick us apart one by one to
Right.
use us as examples to scare those that
the mass.
those around us, saying, well, I don't want that to happen to me. But it's only going to happen one-on-one, because once you come together in a group, once you come together as one, as a unity, when all people come together, that's the last thing the government wants from us,
Yeah.
is for the people to come together as one.
It makes sense.
They started this. They actually started this way back in the beginning, when they had the blacks were actually starting to mix with the whites, and people were coming together as one.
Oh, yeah.
And so they made.
We can go into cannabis, marijuana laws.
They
They weren't for white people. They were for Hispanics and black people.
Actually, no, that's not. That's false. No. Do you
True.
know who the number one supporter for the original cannabis laws were? Dow. Dow was a rope company at that time, and they were making a new style of rope. Everything they had before was hemp, made from cannabis.
Yeah. Okay, so they're manipulating.
So they manipulated markets by making cannabis, hemp, illegal, to where now their rope would be dominant.
Right.
That's the actual truth on it.
Well, that was probably part of the truth. Okay, that's probably an aspect to it.
That was the majority of the legal.
That was the majority.
Yeah. Well, the only people that ended up getting arrested and prosecuted for cannabis in the beginning laws was not white people.
Well, no, because they didn't want to mess with the white
So-
people. The same thing with the opioids and everything else.
The whole thing is we had a huge gigantic hemp industry in this country, and Dow paid off the right people to make it illegal.
You mean an evil corporation?
The evil corporation made it paid off the right people, made it illegal to have hemp, and had hemp and marijuana totally eradicated from the country, growing wild or anywhere else. It was poison.
Or being in possession of it?
Yeah.
Well, in possession, or if it was seen anywhere, it was poison.
Paraquat.
Yep,
They put paraquat on it.
exactly.
So now it's coming around where it's becoming legal again.
Well, because it has medical uses.
Oh yeah.
It also has serious industrial uses.
Yeah.
Yes, it
Oh
does.
yeah. Plastics,
Plastic,
everything.
fiber,
Yeah.
paper.
Fuel. It can make. We don't have to use corn. We don't have to use ethanol. We can use hemp. We can use hemp. You know.
Yeah.
So basically, what we have is people that have been put into leadership positions that have been bought out by corporations from the very beginning. And when we look at it right now, we look at the corporations, we look at the sports teams, we look at what they're supporting. We look at Coca-Cola. Be less white. I mean, they literally have in writing,
Yeah.
be less white.
Yeah.
Be less white. I mean, it's the corporations from the very beginning. It's the rich, it's the elitist that want to control the scenario. You know?
Well, what you know, if you hadn't noticed, been videoing
Yeah, I know.
Louisiana Patriot, General League.
This is a cigarette.
Because that's going on my channel.
You got it.
So this is the conversation that I want to have, the truth coming out
Right.
with us going back and forth. Because we speak the truth.
Yeah, we need to have new discussions, real discussions. We need to have real ones. And it doesn't need to just be in a comfortable way. We need to get in uncomfortable situations with people that are uncomfortable talking about what we're talking about to get to the truth and behind what we need to get down to. It's not color, it's not politics. It's none of that crap that they're feeding
It's just
America.
decency.
It's being a decent human being.
That's it.
Human decency. That's all it is. That's all we got to do. Mutual respect. Have some honor towards each other and have integrity to stand up when something is not right, no matter what it is. Okay? And I think we'll get there. I do believe that we will get there.
We're steady working there, but they're fighting us every step of the way.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's going to be, and that's going to be our side, their side. That's
Well,
no matter what side it is.
well-
There's going to be something that's going to try to disrupt any kind of real communication and any kind of real solutions to the issues that we're dealing with. Okay, and we have to excommunicate that, block that out, and come together in a unified way so we can get good police reform. So we can get these cops paid better. We need them paid better. We need them more trained. We need better training. We need all of this, man. We need more connection with who serves us. There's a disconnect between who serves us. We don't serve them. We never will. When it comes to that, we are no longer a United States of America. We're something else, and that's what they were wanting to turn it into.
See, a lot of people, especially the government, and they've been pushing it and teaching it that the government is all powerful, that we, the people, serve them, that they are our leaders, that we are
Obey.
supposed to follow
Comply.
them. No, bitch. You were put in place to represent us.
We elected you.
You were supposed to speak what we tell you to speak. You were supposed to do what we tell you to do.
So we will do that without being in politics. I'll do that without being in politics. I'll run. I'm going to be running for the governor of Texas. Okay, I'm doing it. I'm doing it, and I'm doing it on a novelty. But if there's a chance that I can get some truth out there,
If a 16-year-old kid can win mayor of a city, why can't you win governor of freaking of Texas?
exactly. Why not? You know. But the reality is, I'm running on a novelty. Okay.
Yeah.
And the idea is to be able to get some truth out there in the middle of all this, with the border crisis, with what's going on in Texas, with secession, with leaving the United States. A lot of people are not for it, but most of Texas is for seceding from the union. So
They've had it. And there'll be other states that'll follow if Texas does do it.
yeah, I believe that.
And that's the same thing with the 3% movement. With the average American, people are waiting for somebody to make a move. They're looking for a leader to follow.
To step up in the right direction.
A lot of people are waiting on that.
Yeah, a lot of people are standing and watching. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Texas is the key. Once Texas goes, then lights out.
Well, we
They'll
got
lose all the way up to West Virginia.
We got a ways before we're going to get there, guys. The reality of that situation is we have to responsibly do it. We can't just belt,
Yeah.
okay? We can't just do that.
You gotta do things the right way.
We can't destabilize everything. We don't want to do that. But
Yeah.
we don't want to have the government breathing down our throats, telling us what we can and can't say, telling us what we can and can't do, telling us what we're going to wear on our face when we go somewhere. We don't need that. We don't want it. We're not going to accept that kind of mentality. You know, overall in general, we just want freedom. We want real freedom.
All you've got to do is have a governor in place that says, no, we're not doing this.
Yeah.
You go back and say, okay, go back to your House and your Senate and go, all right, what are your constituents saying? What do they want done?
Right.
Do they agree with this? What does the majority want? And you go from that.
It's simple. It's not complicated.
It's
really simple.
That's their job. That's what it is.
But they don't do it.
Right?
They just don't want to. They just don't want to do it.
No.
You know? Anyway, I'll do that. I'll listen to everybody.
No, this is what happens. Because this is the show I'm a producer in the back. We make the outreach on these guys.
What's it called?
Freedom.
Okay.
And we deal with the local politicians. State but what we find 100% of the time with the politicians that we know is they'll say, "Oh yeah, I'm ready for that. Yeah, we're going to do this and stuff like that. And then they get done. And their big film that they gave them I think, son, I think you need to change course. Let me tell you what. You remember that donation you got? Do you want to still be an artist?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I can give that money to you. Do you hear me, son?
Well, and that's what they do.
And that's exactly what happens.
It's manipulation.
And exactly. You have the super rich manipulating the politicians.
Right.
The corporations and your super rich.
Yeah.
All right.
Your lobbyist.
Yeah.
I mean, that's your main people right there. If you want to see how this country has become rotten, look at the lobbyist. Okay. And that even goes down to the. We can even look at what is it the NRA?
Yeah.
What a joke, the NRA. What a freaking joke.
That's
An
why
absolute joke.
That's why I like Gun Owners of America.
We don't need a group to be together on that.
But what they do, all right. Yes, the NRA has folded more so than anything else.
Hey,
but
if you join right now, they'll send you a hat made in China.
Actually, the last offer was a really nice knife and a
Made
bag.
in China.
I've actually got a really good NRA bag that fits my my plate carrier, my battle belt, and my AR. All of it fits in there.
They supported the bump stock law.
I think it's freaking stupid. But at the same token, you have to look at how the end game is going. You got to look at politics. And I've been doing research and studying on politics. You've got to, like he was saying there, well, son, let me think about this. If you want to do this, well, I think you're doing this wrong. I can do this for you here. I want you to go do that, right? And they're passing money, okay? Well, no money involved. Okay, you want this education bill done over here.
Yeah.
Right?
Give, take.
But they give and take. So what they're doing is, all right, I'll give you this, but you've got to lay off of that, so that they can try to push more. All right, well, we really don't need bump stocks. They're more of a novelty item. We enjoy playing with them. They're fun to use. Me personally, don't like them.
Didn't give a crap about them myself.
I don't like them, but okay, it really doesn't.
Didn't affect me.
It doesn't affect.
But
all right. But also,
it still wasn't.
But okay. Also, okay.
I mean, it's.
You got me on that. I want to train off, but I'm gonna try to stay on point on this.
Hey, our left is compromising right now.
No, they never have. That's no point.
There is no compromise.
The right
There's no
has always tried to be the peacekeepers. They've tried to find the neutral ground, the medium.
Right.
And it's time for us to stop doing that and fight back. And that's what Trump did. He said, no, we're not doing that. This is what's going to happen. And that's why they fought.
There's over 4,000 people dead because we have a vaccine.
Yeah.
I mean, Trump pushed through.
But he had to push it through so they would push for something else. He was trying to appease.
Yeah, well, now we have vaccine passports that are on their way. So none of this would have happened.
Well, the government isn't going.
People will lose their job right now.
Oh, I done told my employer.
If they don't get a vaccine,
I've already told my employer.
They'll lose their job.
I've already told my employer if you mandate the vaccine, fire me.
Yeah,
I'm done. I told my wife. I'm done.
If Trump would have slowed everything down, if he would have not allowed to push so hard on that, which he really didn't have to,
they would have freaking snowballed him even harder.
It would have been.
They would have pushed.
We would not be where we're at 6 months. 6 months from now. No. What I'm saying is, I saw Trump push the vaccine.
Yes.
I saw him hire people to fast track all of this crap through genetic scientists.
Because he had to.
He didn't have to. No, he did not. He didn't. He didn't. He didn't have to.
He did.
No.
think about this, all right? He's been fighting not just the left, he's been fighting the right as well. All these fucking rhinos, you've only got maybe 20 good senators in Congress. Congressmen,
Let me give you an idea of the
maybe 20.
Louisiana politics. You have majority of Republicans but actually you don't. A lot of these people that have a Republican tag on are actually Democrats that came to the Republicans specifically so they can win elections in their district. And that goes on the national level too. And so you have a bunch of Republicans that are actually fucking Democrats.
Yeah, absolutely.
they're rhinos.
Right.
So, I mean, and that's the problem is, you see, the president, he can only do so much. I mean, the president really isn't even supposed to be about the people. The president's position is actually to communicate the states, to deal with the states directly.
Well, not only that, the actual position of the President of the United States was to work with foreign powers.
Yeah.
To command the army and to be the head diplomat in foreign powers to the other countries around the world. Be the main spokesperson for that. That was his original duty in his realm. The Congress and the Senate. The Congress was the people's house for everybody. The Senate, which it no longer is, was specifically designed to represent the interests of the state and the state government. The Senate was originally designed. The Senate was originally designed to be the spokesman for the governor and the state, and have absolutely nothing to do with the citizens. Thank you very much for 1913 and a whole bunch of stuff we had.
Sell us into a corporation status.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so this is the whole sum up of what we've all just, in my opinion, what we've all just said. Leadership is corrupted.
Yes,
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Because absolute power
Absolutely corrupts.
absolutely corrupts. So every single individual that intends to go in and do something good for this country actually goes and joins the circus. They just don't know it until they get there.
Well, that's a lot of them go in. They're told this is what we do. This is how we do it. This.
And their world
they're
becomes
made
compromised.
to push it.
And their world becomes
few.
compromised.
We've got a few. Like I said, it's just a handful out of the 200 and something plus senators and congressmen, women that we have. You maybe have 20 that are good, solid people.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So I mean, and they're fighting a losing battle, but
Yeah.
they're fighting, and they're fighting for us.
Yep. They're not compromised. They're not playing.
And they
they're not-
won't be, because they're good, honest Christian people.
They stand for what they stand for. Yeah. Yep. And that's what we got to do. We got to stand up for what's right. We got to be righteous. And it's 10 o'clock, and I'm probably
Yeah,
going to
10.
piss this guy off.
I've got to go.
Because I got to go to this house, man. Showing up.
Yeah. I got to get my piece.